Alright, what is up, guys? This is Inversify here, and we've got the week 6, excuse me, of the CSML going up against Tyler and the Skokie Snorunts. And this game is pretty important because we're going into power matches, and if I win, I do take his place in the power match, or I kind of swap spots with him because going into this match, I'm in 6th place, he is in 5th. So anyways, here is his team. Pretty scary, and of course I have my team still, hasn't really changed. And yeah, so going into the team builder, first off I have Clefable. Got a bit of a weird set, counter, Moonlight, Moonblast, and Calm Mind. I was kind of debating between Unaware and Magic Guard in this game, and I decided on Magic Guard, and I actually forgot to switch. Originally I was Unaware, so that I had Moonlight because that's the only thing you can run. And then I ended up changing to Magic Guard. Forgot to change to Soft Boiled, but you know, we're just gonna ignore that anyway. Counter is there for the Charizard X. Basically he bops me and then I bop him back, and my bop is stronger. Yeah, pretty much that's it. He doesn't have great fairy resist on his team. His steel type is like Alolan Sandslash, which is bad. And other than that, he doesn't have a fairy resist on his team. So yeah, Mono Moonblast is the way to go. So anyways, next we have the Mega Gallade. This thing kind of tears through his team. He's got the Taunt, Sword Stance, Close Combat, and Knock Off. This is faster than his whole team, barring the Excelgor, and Taunt is there so I can I don't get Will-O-Wisped by Mew, and yeah, other than that, Sword Stance because I want to deal damage, and then Close Combat is pretty good, and Knock Off for Mew. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Next we have the Thundurus, because this thing also does a lot of work. His team is pretty slow, I feel, so like having these like threatening sweepers that outspeed everything but like one support mon on his team is really nice. I have the Poisonium Z for the Tangrowth, so that thing will not be able to eat a hit from me. And then got the Grass Knot for the Donphan. And also Poisonium Z can be used against the Charizard X, in case that thing is like healthy and maybe more of a defensive set. You know, Acid Downpour at +2 should nuke it pretty thoroughly, especially if I have rocks up. Actually, do I have rocks? I do have rocks. Smart, I'm smart. But anyways, moving on, we've got the Cloyster. A bit of an interesting set. We've got Toxic Spikes, Rapid Spin, Ice Beam, and HP Fire. And I was looking at his team and I was like, he's pretty weak to Toxic Spikes because basically everything but Electros and Alolan Sandslash gets hit by Toxic Spikes, as he does not have a flying type. I mean, he has Mega Charizard before it Mega Evolves, but that's a different story. And you know, his removers, they don't enjoy like getting poisoned. Stuff like Tangrowth really hates being poisoned. Donphan really hates being poisoned. Mew really hates being poisoned. And you know, I'm running HP Fire because in case he doesn't want to bring the Alolan Sandslash, this thing will pretty much like put a hard stop to that, thanks to its 4 times resistance to Ice. It's neutral to Steel, but obviously it has that great defense stat, and I am running the HP Fire, so I can hit the what is the name? Alolan Sandslash. And yeah, Rapid Spin just in case I want to get rid of hazards, because you know, Excelgor, I don't like Spike Stack. Next up we have Alolan Marowak, just kind of a bulky you know, attacker. Got the Stealth Rock, Fire Punch, Shadow Moon, and Earthquake. And you know, he doesn't really enjoy switching into this. You know, it can get outsped by something like a Tyranitar, But you know, it's pretty hard for a Tyranitar to hard switch in. It will not enjoy taking an Earthquake. And other than that, Dual Stab's pretty good against his team. Just in general, like, doesn't really have great switch-ins. And Rocks, because why would you not run Rocks against Charizard? And lastly, we have the debut of the Fraxure, named Fraxure because I'm very creative. Um, got a interesting set. I noticed that when I was looking at my speed tiers, Fraxure hits 349 after, like, at max speed. Adamant Fraxure hits 249 or 349 at +1. So I wanted to bring a Dragon Dance set because why not? Like, setup spam is fun. And yeah, that's not much else to say. Brought Aquatail because like Donphan. Donphan, and it hits Alolan Ninetales kind of. But yeah, he doesn't have great Dragon Resist really because he doesn't have a Steel. Well, he doesn't have a good Steel, I should say. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the team builder. I brought Taunt for the same reason I brought Taunt on Mega Gallade. And let's get into the replay. Oh no, I just spoiled turn 1. Oh, restart. Alright, anyways, I look at the team he brought and I was like, wow, he didn't bring Alolan Sandslash or Alolan Ninetales. I was happy to see that. And yeah, I just decided I wanted to lead Cloyster because I don't need it like super healthy anymore because the Alolan Sandslash is not there, excuse me. So I just want to get up my Toxic Spikes. I'm thinking only one layer is going to be fine because I'd rather get things chipped 12% than Toxic because I'm not really going to be like stalling things out except with maybe Clefable. But so just like the 12% chip is fine, not like. See, the thing is with Toxic Spikes, it's like it's not always better to get 2, and I feel like this is a game that definitely like only 1 is necessary because it's after 4 turns that the Toxic Spikes actually start to like eclipse, like 2 layers eclipses 1 layer in damage. Because the first turn it's like 6 versus 12, then they're both 12, then it's 18 versus 12, so it's even up to that point, and then it's finally like more. But I don't think a lot of his things are going to be staying in for like 4+ turns. So I'd rather just get up 1 layer, and plus it's just like, I mean, it's another like turn that I'd have to waste setting them up, and they're not like that. Like, I'd rather just have things regularly poisoned. But anyways, I'm gonna lead off with my Cloyster. He decides to lead off with his Megazard, and he Megas turn 1. So now he does not have any sort of stop to Toxic Spikes. Everything that switches in will get Toxic. As he does switch in the Mew here, I'm gonna go to slow. Yeah, he's going to go to Mew as I go to Clefable. And then I'll just fire off a Moonblast because I'm feeling pretty confident. I don't think the Mew is going to be able to really do that much to me. So I get a nice chunk of damage out on this Stoutland, and it will be whittled by the Toxic Spikes. It's nice that Mew has also been poisoned, so even if he like removes it with, say, Donphan or Hitmonlee, the Mew is already poisoned. And unless he's packing like Aromatherapy Mew, it will continue to be poisoned. So he makes a good play. If I back up here, he makes a good play and goes for the Stomping Tantrum, catching my Alolan Marowak on the switch. So I just decide that I want to keep this thing around. So I go into my Cloyster, which is obviously very physically bulky, as most Cloysters are. And I'm just going to start whittling this thing down with some Ice Beams. He's just going to take the time to click return 2 times and, you know, just try and get some chip damage off of my Cloyster, which I am fine with. Now I will Ice Beam and take out the Stoutland. Obviously the crit did not matter, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right here. He goes into his Mega Charizard X, and I'm going to go right into my Clefable because I don't want this thing setting up on me, as he just goes for the Fire Punch to try and knock me out instead, which I'm obviously completely fine with. And now here he decides he's going to Dragon Dance as I go for the Moonblast. It's going to do a little bit, but it's not going to do enough to knock him out after the Moonblast and the Poison. So I'm thinking he's probably going to want to attack me here. Goes for the Fire Punch, and I bang hit him with the counter, and perfectly execute some heat, which is always nice, always nice. So he's going to go into his Hitmonlee, and I decided that I just want to sack off my Cloyster. It's not really that useful anymore because I don't have priority on it, as we actually do live the Poison Jab and don't get poisoned, which is nice because that allows me to get 2 turns of poison off on Hitmonlee for free instead of 1. But yeah, I will go into my Mega Gallade here because it walls Hitmonlee. Like, Hitmonlee really can't touch it. And here I wanted to go for the SD and pretty much go for game, but I had a feeling that Mew might have been Colbur Berry, so I decided to knock off instead because I knew he was going to go into Mew. I was very certain of that. Hitmonlee can't touch Mega Gallade. So I wanted to click SD, but if I was SD and he was Colbur Berry, then he lived when I was at +2. So I just decided to knock off here, and it turns out it was K-Civ Berry. I honestly don't really know what for, but good for him, I guess. He does reveal the Sucker Punch, which is pretty cool tech. But yeah, that is going to be the end of Mew. And now he goes into his Tangrowth, and I'm going to taunt him, expecting him to maybe go for like a Sleep Powder or a Leech Seed. He just goes for the Sludge Bomb instead, probably expecting my Clefable to come out. But since that thing is physically defensive, I didn't really want to bring it out. I'm just going to go into my Alolan Marowak here as he decides to Giga Drain. Does a good chunk of damage, but now I can fire off a Fire Punch because rocks really aren't that helpful for me anymore. And I'm just going to be able to take out this Tangrowth, which is really nice. So yeah, he's going to go into his Donphan, and I'm just going to sack this thing off if he wants to click Ice Shard. Not let him set up for free, which he tries to. So I'm going to Shadow Bone, get a defense drop. Really doesn't matter because of the poison, as you'll see. So he's going to kill me with the Earthquake, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I know Fraxure can definitely live a hit because I was calcing Fraxure against Donphan because it gets Ice Shard, so I wanted to see what kind of damage I would be taking from it. And I know I could easily live that hit, even though he is offensive. And here I go for another Dragon Claw on the Hitmonlee. Surprisingly, I outspeed. I was kind of surprised. I guess he was a slow Hitmonlee. But yeah, that is wrapping up the game. Fraxure in its debut, getting 2 kills. Always feels good. Always feels good. But yeah, that is it.